Hi guys, I've got a page in my traveller's notebook today using the Citrus Twist Sugarland Pocket Life kit and also this by the numbers stamp set, which is going to be perfect for just documenting a few things that are going on right now. In the kit came this sort of book page, which I didn't, the text on it didn't really relate to what I'm going to do, so I'm going to cover it up with my photo here. And this is a closer look at the stamp set. It's great. It's got all sorts of numbers and phrases for recording things, which is especially great at this time of year. So this is just going to be a little snapshot of what's going on right now, sort of at the beginning of the year. So I think it will be interesting to see how this journey unfolds through 2018 and how I am at the end of the year. So I've gone through all of the 6x6 papers in the kit, and I just really love this pink and blue one. I think it goes nicely with the colours in my photo. This photo was just sort of, it was totally random actually. I accidentally hit the shutter as I was turning my camera around and managed to capture this, it's only slightly blurry photo of myself, so I decided that was perfect for printing out and just documenting a sort of a random things page. I don't often do these sorts of pages, but like I said, there's a long way to go this year, so I'm thinking it will be interesting to see how this sort of page looks at the end of the year. Now this was a tiny little strip that I had kept from another one of the 6x6 papers from one of my Project Life spreads, so it was too pretty to throw away, and it turns out to be perfect to fit under the photo there. And then instead of cutting it, I'm just going to rip the page at the bottom, not the page, sorry, the 6x6 paper, because that book page is ripped as well, so it just sort of echoes that. And then I'm not putting too many layers in here, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to stick that down on top of the book page, and then I can just, before I stick it down, I'm just going to trim it a little bit. So I'm just trimming off the edges there. And then because it's going to go across the fold, I am going to trim it down, well not the middle, but where the fold of the book is going to go as well. And actually I was shocked that my paper trimmer managed to trim through all of those layers. It is quite thick with the photo, and the paper stock on that 6x6 paper is quite thick too. So a new blade seems to make all the difference with that trimmer. So I'm going to stick that down, and I am leaving a little gap in the spine so that it does fold over. And I will say that after I finished this page and went to close the book, it is still quite bulky towards the center, so I did lift up the piece on the left and move it over so there is a much more substantial gap in the middle, and that just means it closes a little bit easier. And because there's no subject where the cut in the photo is, it doesn't really make a difference that there's quite a large gap. Now I'm just adding a few pieces, not a great deal, just a few pieces of the die cuts from the kit. There's a really cute one, little tab at the top, and the little pink arrow. There's so much pink in this kit, I just love it. And then again, I grabbed one of these tiny word stickers, but I don't love the grey that's on it. They're a little bit thick, so I just trimmed the top piece off, so I left the grey stripe underneath, but that way it's just a pink and grey stripe. And then I should have done it first. I was going to put a label underneath it, but all I've done is just trim it at a strange sort of angle, and then I can just glue it down directly underneath the sticker, and it does sort of look like it's layered, except it doesn't add the bulk. Now my plan is to add my random things, my journaling down the side here, and I'm going to use these numbers. There is that stamp that says random things, so I'll add that in later. And I'm thinking for my stamping, I'm going to add it in 3 different colours too. So I'm going to pick out 3 different coloured inks that sort of match my photo, but I'm not going to stamp all of them first. I'm just going to stamp one, and then there's this little line which I quite like, just to sort of frame the journaling, I guess. It just adds a sort of bit more interest. So I'm going to add the little line with the dot, and then I'm going to do my journaling for point number 1. So I'm going to add this in quite quickly, and that way I'm going to end up with enough room for the journaling I want to write before I put the second point in. If I had just stamped 1, 2, 3, I probably wouldn't have had enough room. So I still don't have enough room. You'll see I'm still squishing it up by the end of the page, but never mind. So for the second one, I'm going to put it on the other side, and again just using that same line stamp and then adding my journaling, and then the 3 I'm going to put back onto the left. So I've got just the 3 colours that just coordinate with my photo, a teal, a blue and a pink, and then I am stamping that stripe stamp in just black. So you can see I've very nearly run out of room. But again, I guess this is a less sort of formally page. It really was about these just random things. And so then I want to stamp my random things stamp, and I didn't really know where to put it, so I just sort of tried it a few places on my photo, and in the end I just stamped it down the bottom, so it kind of looks like I'm looking at that stamp. And there are these double line stamps that I thought it would look cool in, but I thought there was no way I was going to be able to manage to stamp it in the right place, so I decided to avoid disaster and just ignore that. But I am just going to add one of these corner stamps, and you'll see that I just cut it with a pair of scissors because I only wanted one. I cut my clear stamps all the time. It doesn't hurt them. You can very easily join them back up on a block again, so I do that all the time. I just feel like it's almost done. I just feel like sort of down the bottom needs a little something. So in this stamp set from the actual kit, there was this date stamp, so I'm going to add that in. I stamped it really poorly, but I was going to cover it up, and then I thought, no, I'll just go with it because I really just want to get these things down on the page. And I'm going to add an actual date stamp from the date I did this journaling because I think this will be handy to see it as a reference, and I'm stamping that in teal ink, and then that is my page all done. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There's a couple more videos on screen if you want to keep watching. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye.